Hello, and welcome to the Thyroid Warrior podcast. I'm Ebony, and I'm here as your wellness facilitator. I'm going to be sharing my experiences in managing Hashimoto's disease. I really hope that it'll help you on your personal journey. Keep in mind, however, this does not substitute for medical advice. It is only for your information and motivational purposes only. Now, let's get started. Hello, everyone. Today I want to talk about loving the skin that you're in. For many of us, we see all of these wonderful commercials online or on TV, and you see the beautiful model there, and their skin just looks amazing. And you're like, oh my gosh, how can I get that? That would be amazing. And then you sit back and realize, let me just examine my skin for a minute. And then the next thing you know, you're like, I don't really like the skin that I'm in, actually. I don't like it at all. But we're going to talk about this a little bit today. And one of the things that I personally had a very difficult time with was the condition of my skin, my hair, and my nails. So for many women in particular, those are pretty important things. We typically like to see our skin glowing and our hair full of body and volume, and our nails are perfectly manicured, and we just feel so beautiful because our skin is just amazing. Well, if you're hypothyroid or hyperthyroid, sometimes that's not so easy to achieve. So, for example, for me, I experience both hypo and hyper symptoms. And 1 minute, I'm super cold and clammy, and my skin is bone dry, no matter how much lotion or body butter or serums or anything that I use, it doesn't matter. My skin just laughs at me and like, you thought that was going to be enough? Yeah, no, try again. And I would literally take a shower, lather up, put on as much lotion or body butter as I could, and I would get in the bed and I would wake up the next morning, and you would have thought that I rolled around in the Sahara Desert because my skin was super dry again. I felt like a crocodile. And my poor husband, I would literally try to cuddle against him, and especially if I didn't shave my legs. And he would just say, "Oh no, can you move please? Your skin feels really scaly today." And I'm like, "Oh goodness, you're so mean." And he said, "I really love you, but it's a bit distracting and I kind of can't sleep." So I will politely separate us with the covers or my body pillow and go to sleep and grumble and groan and say, "You're not very nice and you're not a good husband." And of course, he would try to make up for it, but I was over it at that point. Anyway, the other thing that was really difficult for me was just how much my hair would shed and how dry it was. Again, didn't matter how much moisture I put in it or anything that I would do. My skin was just really flaky on my scalp, and I call it having Christmas in July, for example, and I would just have so much dandruff, and it was really embarrassing too because it was constantly falling out all over the place. And if I decided to wear a black shirt or a dark blazer or some sort to work, forget about it. My secret was sold. Everyone knew what was going on, and it was just bad. So I really was discouraged because not only did I have my skin and my hair, but then my nails were super brittle. They were breaking every 5 seconds. And it was just hard. Then, on the one hand, all of those things were happening, but then depending on, what was going on, if I had hyper symptoms, then the next thing I know, I was super hot and sweaty. And then I started having these weird, almost sweat rashes, so to speak. And that, didn't like that at all. If you've ever had them, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I will leave that there because I do not want to describe that in detail at all. But there are just so many things that happen to your skin, and obviously that's like the window to your health. Like anything that's going on with you on the inside, it shows on your skin. And I literally again went to start researching, and I literally realized, okay, what am I going to do for my skin? How am I going to solve the problem of this lovely gunk going on in my scalp? And what was I going to do about my nails? I went to the dermatologist. She gave me a steroid cream and said, oh, by the way, you have to be careful how you use this because it can cause skin thinning. And I looked at her and said, okay, thanks. Not using it. Nope, I'm not. I'm sorry. I was not compliant. But I didn't want to use some type of cream that was going to thin my skin out. And that just didn't sound good. So for me, what I would do is I researched what products would have the least amount of toxins in them, because you have to be careful because a lot of products have ingredients in them that can impact your thyroid function. And you just don't realize how much stuff can impact your thyroid until you start reading. You're like, wait, that can screw me up? Oh, wait, but I love that product. Oh, this stinks. You're like, I can't do anything. I just have to sit in a bubble and just pray. That's literally what I resolved one day from doing research on things. So for me, what I started to do was trying to find items that were vegan. And I also started making a lot of things on my own. Like I would just make my own soap or body butter or facial cleaners. And I was very careful about the types of shampoos that I used. And I didn't want anything with parabens in it, nothing with sulfates in it. And there are more products out there than you think that are really, really, I wouldn't say quote unquote good for you per se, but they just have fewer toxins in them or ingredients that will impact your thyroid function. So for me, I'm really, really big on making sure that I understand what I'm putting on my skin. So I make sure that I really spend a lot of time just going over and reviewing the products or ingredients that are in the things that I use day to day. Anything that I can make on my own, I do. There are a load of things on Pinterest. I have a Pinterest board that I go to for my skincare products and my body butters and my scrubs. And there are a plethora of resources on Amazon that you can find that kind of walk you through the process of the whole DIY body stuff. And it's really kind of cool too, because you get to really know everything that's in the products that you use. And it's just really fun. It's one of those stress relieving things that I've discovered over time that I really enjoy. And the other thing too is you never realize, again, once you clean up your diet, what that does for your skin as well. So while I'm working on making all of these wonderful concoctions, I'm also making sure that I'm eating well and exercising and drinking a lot of water. And if you are not a fan of water, take baby steps. A lot of people are like, oh, well, put fruit in your water and that'll help. And for some people, that's a bit extreme. So if you can have the little water drops or whatever until you get to a point where you're more comfortable with just drinking water, I highly recommend that. But it's a lot, and you're going to have a process of when you're trying to figure out what works best for you. So some people are allergic to nuts. So if, for example, you have a cream or a gel or a lotion, you have to be careful about if it has some type of nut or nut oil or product in it. Some people are allergic to shea butter or coconut, and that's again something that you just have to be very careful about. I really enjoy going to Whole Foods because I like their natural beauty care line. And well, they don't have a line per se, but they have products in there that are either vegan or they have less skin harming items in them. But I just enjoy going to that store and having just a point of reference. And as I got comfortable, I just kind of broadened my scope a bit and started looking for, I would search for top 10 items that are vegan in terms of skincare, or top items that have less harmful toxins in them. You kind of have to be a little creative when you're searching for them, but I have a list again on my website at ebonycolina.com that I will provide you guys with, that just outlines some of the things and products that I found that are really helpful in terms of trying to get your skin back together, and a lot of DIY products and things that I like to do that really help my skin, especially in the winter months. So I'll definitely make sure I include those in the show notes for you guys. But I would say one of my biggest lessons learned is spas are your friend, because sometimes you don't really know what to do when you're starting out. And I definitely was in that boat. I'm like, okay, my skin looks horrible. My nails look horrible. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. And I went to a spa and I was talking to the esthetician about my skin problems and what was going on. And I told her what my dermatologist said. And, she really worked with me to deliver a service for me that fit my needs at the time. So I went for a long time having very, very dry skin, and I still have very dry patches in different areas of my body, but it's strange because now that's shifting slightly and my skin is becoming more oily than dry. So it really depends on the season, it depends on your thyroid levels, and it depends on different things that are happening in terms of any meds that you're taking, any vitamins that you're taking. You have to be mindful of those things and how they interact and how they either work together or work against your body to make sure you have what you need. So you just have to be very careful about that. The other thing is just really making sure that you're sleeping well. I know a lot of times everyone is busy and you're trying to stay up late, or if you have kids, you're making sure they're good. And then a lot of times you end up neglecting yourself, and you just have to get that rest in, because when you sleep, your body basically mends itself. So you have to make sure that you're getting enough rest, because nobody likes bags under their eyes. And I really, really don't like them myself. So I try to make sure I get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep on a quote unquote bad day. So one of the things that I recommend is just 1, making sure you get rest. 2, make sure that you drink a lot of water. 3, if your skin is at a point where you're really uncomfortable and you're not quite sure what to do, go visit a dermatologist. They're going to be really helpful at helping you understand what's going on with your skin. And once you do that, make sure that you touch base with your endocrinologist to let them know what you have going on with your skin. The other thing is just do a simple search on, safe products for thyroid patients in terms of skincare and beauty care. Go to a spa, talk to an esthetician, and just ask them, hey, this is what I have going on. Not all of them will know per se, about your particular condition, but if you just describe your symptoms, usually they can really recommend something that would really help you. I am the DIY queen, so I definitely recommend you taking a look at some things on Pinterest and just seeing how they work and how they feel. And you never know, not only will you end up creating a product that makes your skin, hair, and nails feel amazing, but you also end up saving money too because you're not spending a lot on products. So that's a really, really good thing. But always, as I really, really like to mention, is just being kind to yourself and being patient with yourself. It is not an easy thing having to deal with skin issues. It often comes with a lot of anxiety and just overall just being uncomfortable, and I get it because I was there. So you have me. I'm always here. So anytime that you guys have a question or want to reach out, there's always a contact form on my website at ebonycolina.com, and just ask those questions and we can have a dialogue about it. And if I can get a hold of any of my buddies that can talk about different skin things and issues that are going on or highlight some of those things, I will definitely try to bring them on the show and have a time for us to just talk about those things, which I will be doing in future episodes. So, be well, take care of yourself, and I really, really hope that you guys will enjoy just looking at different things about your skin. And don't forget, remind yourself of how beautiful you are. I don't care if you're male or female, regardless of all the things that you may or may not have going on with your skin, just remember that you're beautiful inside and out, and you will get to a point where you're completely satisfied with your body and everything that you have going on. So with that said, I hope you all have a fantastic day and stay strong and be well. Talk to you later. Okay, thyroid warriors, get out there and take things one step at a time. Remember, be great, reflect on your triumphs, and as always, be well. Take care.